This is our winner bracket semifinal, the first one in Group B, and we take a look at the map picks and bans. We get 1-2-0 with the bans on Concealed and Terranas, Fortitude with Last Refuge and Turtle Rock. So Northern for the human, Echo Isles for the undead, and Amazonia to start the series.
Very surprising vetoes. 1-2-0, vetoes Concealed Hill. Very interesting. That's something we've barely ever seen. And normally this map is great for DK Fiend, Standard, and Harassing. Does that tell us that 1-2-0 really doesn't want to play Standard and wants to play Crypt Lord only? Maybe. And Fortitude removes Last Refuge. This is a veto we see from humans here still quite a bit in Asia. I'm not sure that's the right way to go. Against the Crypt Lord, Last Refuge, normally a good map for them, certainly with Mercenaries. But perhaps afraid of the Rock Golem being pulled in case of a Standard DK and so on. And Turtle Rock, our specialty map, also will not be shown here. That, of course, is historically pretty rough one for human.
Interesting that in the previous series, Sock picked Echo Isle against Undead, and here the Undead is picking Echo Isles against humans. So it's a little bit of a reverse thing going on. Once again, we have a favorite here. That is oftentimes the case in the winner bracket semifinal with 1-2-0. But this might be one of the closest winner bracket semifinal if Fortitude arrives in shape. Top 3 performance 1 year ago, carrying his team to the Gold Championship in January. And then a little bit of a slump throughout the entire year. But man, maybe it's just winter is his season. Maybe he needs it a little cold outside to spend more time with practice. He can be a dark horse, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, great humans in the Warcraft scene in history have known to not like the heat so much. Isn't that right? So maybe here that favors him a little bit more. I love the way he sounded as well in the interview, not just what he said, but it feels like confidence is manifested in him once again. He's willing to play, he's looking to be in a good shape, and he doesn't seem to be too afraid. You know, Sock in the interview moving in said, yeah, you know, dealing with the Crypt Lord is hard, and that was very visibly displayed. Fortitude says, no, it's fine. Everything is kind of all right. I can do it. You know, game is balanced, and I have high hopes for myself. Saying top 4 right away here did Fortitude. He has some high expectations of himself.
Okay, 1-2-0 and Fortitude, both in the studio in Shanghai, and here's our first match of Group B. In the bottom left-hand side for ELL, the Necromancer, the DreamHack Fall Champion is 1-2-0. And in the upper right, playing, of course, for the Lao Pao Esports Club, the TH Killer is Fortitude.
And as we are on Amazonia, it's very likely we're going to be seeing a standard game. DK Fiends against fast expanding human. Of course, nowadays, Crypt Lord is all the rage, but Amazonia is a very bad map for that. Crypt Lord fast expansion, in fact, it is the very worst in the entire pool. That is definitely a big strength for Undead nowadays in the map. No question about that. You can adjust your strategy depending on what the map is good for. Some maps are very good for Crypt Lord fast expo, like Echo Isles. Some maps are much better for DK Fiend Harass, like this one. Power build by Fortitude. Wait a minute, did he power build the altar as well?
That could be a very fast start.
Yeah, he did.
So, is he afraid of, like, a DK rushing over and wants to get a little bit of a head start?
Yeah, this is very unusual because normally, even if you just build the altar straight up, if you creep this camp well, finish it before the DK actually shows up. So I wonder what the timing here is gonna provide, how it's gonna be different. We're gonna see what it is. Hoping for some good items for the AM early. Everything but a ring, please, says Fortitude. We'll see if his wish is answered. Claws of attack. Hallelujah.
Okay, and 1-0 going to the Trolls. Standard creep route here for him as well. But this can actually be contested if he gets the last hit. This would have been insane. Maybe that is the little detail that he wanted to change. But yeah, with one skeleton, he's getting level 2. And this seems like a very elaborated start for Fortitude. A little bit unlucky that his footman gets ensnared on the way out. But then that's not too much experience here for 1-0. With the claw, he can put some pressure onto the DK and just hope that he moves away from the north as quickly as possible.
Fourth farm coming up. Expansion will be prepped. We saw 120 trying to mess with the creep AI already, sending in a skeleton. He's got the Acolyte parked over there. Ideally, the human wants to pull out the camp to disable the rock golem from tossing the boulders. But if the undead messes with it, it's not that reliable. So, militia, where are they going to be called? And we can see, always the footer, you know, trying to go for that creep pull, but 120 is around and ready to block that in that case.
Okay. Fortitude oftentimes a little stubborn with his expansion plays. It doesn't matter what it takes. He will go for that second base. And 120 about to exploit that with a fee. Not too sure if he got backpack for new rods, but the creeping starts.
Yeah, this should be a safe camp. Not only was this time for more footies, but also more peasants and more mana on the AM for Water Elementals. One last hit stolen by the DK, but because he didn't finish the full troll camp, he's still not level 2. In fact, the DK is slowed. Last hit should be going to Fortitude, of course. And yeah, he got it. Otherwise, would have been level 2 DK. 1 of mana steal. Pretty nice against the Death Knight here. Limits the number of coils. And that was a pretty clean expo creep. Fortitude delayed it, played it safe, and got some decent experience, but not level 3 yet. That's because he didn't creep the green outside of his main. He is very close to that level up now. The expansion came up safely, but certainly delayed. 120 is going to be level 2 here, at tier 2, excuse me, in no time.
Yeah, but we've seen this way worse for human in this matchup. So Fortitude can be quite happy with that. 120, of course, floating in resources, banking a little for the fast tier 3, for the slaughterhouse, for the lich. Standard straight up. Still holding on to the TP, creeping a little more. Willing to go for the level 3, and there we go. Now the question kind of is, how will he use his footman? He's already threatening an attack early on.
Yeah, especially once the undead tech happens, begins towards tier 3, that's when footy run-bys can be quite powerful. He was also scouting with them, of course. He notices, okay, 120 is creeping up for a little bit. That means Fortitude can creep the middle. It's going to get another nice item there and closer to level 4. If the AM gets level 4 fast, it's going to be tremendous mana regen for him and all other heroes and casters.
I like this, man. He's stealing the null away. Gets the second claw as a reward. Steals experience off of the side of 120 on a map where there's already limited experience. So 120 has to get out of his way to creep up a little more and even to get level 3. Got a circlet, got a mantle. This can be nice for the lich, of course, but not the uber items. But still tier 1 for Fortitude.
Dude, this little power build, and then the AM harassing and the DK not getting much experience in the early game, this is having such a massive ripple effect. 120 could have played it safer and taken the bottom right troll camp, but didn't want to do that. And you know what? Fortitude gets a little bit ahead with just that tiny adjustment. I like that. Fortitude comes in prepared here for his WGL match. This AM is looking good. Double claw, circlet boots. Looking strong.
Can live with that. Can he contest the nulls? Does he want to? Even if 120 is creeping this, that puts off pressure of the expansion. Tech has started. Would love to see if there's defend. We got the first Coil Nova probably on the Archmage, starting the a little bit of healing. And now the push continues. Okay, there is pressure on the expansion now. No counter aggression. Footmen are ready. Is defend ready?
Seems like it's not. Towers are gonna get cancelled. That definitely hurts a little bit, but the peasants at least for now are surviving. Fortitude is buying time, very patient. Summons a few water elementals, uses the towers for distraction, and now is going in with the footman. He doesn't have that many. AM also low HP, needs to be careful trying to get back to the shop with the boots. That's not too hard. Coil Nova on a footy. That's an expensive kill. Costs a lot of mana.
Burning through these spells very early on. Statue is here for regen. Of course, that helps. And that is level 3 finally. Fortitude continues to summon the water elementals by a little time. Heroes not attacking the towers. More time for the towers. More time for the static defense. More time for the tech.
Looking pretty solid so far by 40. He lost a total of, what, 2 peasants this game? Pretty nice. AM gets back to the shop. More towers coming up. Fortitude, of course, throughout his career has placed quite a few towers over the numerous games. Footy numbers looking healthy. The difficult thing for human is to go for the right amount of footies. To have them in ample supply early to hold on, but then to not make too many against tier 3 where they will fall off heavily. Fortitude a little low lumber here, but does now have the shredder. This is one of the biggest strengths for human on this map, having easy shredder access. And with that, all the lumber in the world soon. 1-0 is tier 3. He has 2 options. Counter expand or push.
Alright, and this is, by the way, a rematch of WCG semifinals of the team event. This is where Fortitude was able to defeat 1-0, and we thought, oh, will we see a huge surprise here in the semifinal? He did his job. Rest of the team, unfortunately, couldn't really follow that up there. But that was the moment where we thought, okay, Fortitude is scary again. Speaking of scary, +8 damage on the Lich is really nice as well. But finally, Fortitude is going for a patented counterattack with Footman.
And with the DK here and a Destroyer, though, there's not really anything that these footies can do. 1-0, counterplaying this very, very well. And 40 not teching yet. He has the resources. Feels like he needs tier 3. Ultra is getting pressured. 1-0 not attacking the Expo, but rather the main. And Fortitude, he just wants to go for this counterattack.
Okay. And yeah, the Ultra will hold. Might spam a Nova. If you have these footmen around and they have so much normal damage, try to go for some buildings. Rebuilding a crypt does take some time, but there is a Destroyer at home. Can dispel against the water elementals, can put great damage onto the footmen. And that might prevent the Paladin in the long run. Mountain King can't creep.
Ultra will have to be remade somewhere else, probably at the expansion, for when tier 3 is finished.
Fiend not getting intercepted. Web is coming. And he lets go of that Rax. So this really didn't accomplish too much, except cutting reinforcements. But now, floodgates are kind of open in the human base. Not too sure if there's a Nova on the Lich. If yes, you can use it on the workers. One ghoul goes down. But Fortitude is losing the farm and might be supply stuck even. Yes, he is.
Quite a few fiends here going to work on these towers. Now there's the surface area. 6 fiends. This is probably a number where Fortitude is going to have to intervene. Footies need to come back home. Shredder also trying to do his best. Good damage from that one.
Good last second coil. Of course, no pressure really. Just the towers. But that is towers here. Doesn't want to engage too deep into this. Second Rax at the expansion. Love it for fast and mass knights.
Yeah, love that, absolutely. We've been seeing a lot less breakers nowadays, of course, with the most recent nerf to their armor. Not that popular anymore. Knights Gyros. That has been a super effective counter against Undead for a long time, over many years. But this main base is now seriously about to get breached. Soon, Fortitude will have to react. Now he's coming in with the footies. But these footies against Nova gonna have a tough time, but the Lich doesn't even have that much mana.
It's seriously only Footman. He's calling to arms. The peasants grab the swords and let's go. He gets a Fiend in the north. Gyro numbers. A very, very important one. How many does he have? Web was finished. He couldn't get rid of that crypt in the main. But it's only 1 Destroyer. 5 Fiends, lots of Web. The Shredder suicides himself and gives the Lich level 3. Mistake.
Oh, that hurts. Lumber isn't looking that good yet for Fortitude. Oh, the peasants in the back getting Nova. That's a level 2 Nova. It's a lot of damage. Once again, Fortitude has to fly in for the defense. No Knights just yet.
Okay. Fiends again, surrounded there. That's the second one falling. You can't web everything. So he puts on good pressure. This will force a coil. Constant reinforcements in the air. Can he win that air battle? Then water elementals can shine again, and he feels confident about that one. So goes for the statues in the back. And if he takes that regen away, 1-0 has to pull back, and that's more time for the expansion.
Paladin desperately awaited. So are the Knights. Fortitude with 800 gold, but not too big of an army yet. These Novas against the peasants, against the footies, I mean, hurt so hard. And there's not enough damage for Fortitude out yet. If only he was left alone for a little bit. If he could make it up to 70 supply, Fortitude would become so strong. But of course, 120 is not giving him the time. And now this main base lies open.
Especially on this map, like 120 has been so good at applying pressure and containing the human. Don't let them unfold their strength. Look at the map. How many creep spots are still there? I think we crept 4 of them, and that's it. Never went to the shop, never went to the merchant. Only one of the expansions crept. 120 knows exactly how much pressure he has to do and when and to what. It's also not that stubborn. He didn't want to break the expansion after the second attempt. He saw, okay, there's too many towers. It's kind of hard to engage. Let me go for the base. There's only 2 towers. If I get rid of that altar, I prevent a paladin and I open up that base. So, well played.
Paladin never came out. Seems like the altar wasn't remade. Look at the DK and the Lich blocking the way towards the Fiends. Put frost armor on those heroes, and then how are the Knights going to get in? Well, 120 is going to fall back a little bit. That's how the Knights get in, but we don't have too many of them at all. Not too many gyros either. A lot of them getting webbed, getting taken out right away. But Fortitude, if he can hold here with more Night Streaming and maybe can reclaim his main. Lich in trouble, long range coil, just barely enough. Holy Light was flying through as well. We have the Paladin now, and this Lich might be falling.
Is that the turnaround here? Another coil, TP out. Is there enough damage? Level 2 for the MK, but unable to throw another one. Was that enough? Air superiority for Fortitude. Took out the destroyer. Big 5 supply kill. Castle still intact. Lots of fiends taken. And the expansion seems to be the new main base.
A little bit of creeping now for Fortitude. Would love to get level 3 MK. Would love to get level 2 Paladin. And 120 still has to keep up the pressure. If he gives too much time to this human, he's going to become too strong too quickly. Dark Ranger now. A well-timed silence can make a big difference, especially if it's a double silence. Fortitude's lumber in serious trouble. That shredder lost hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, you
bought a new one. Ooh, that's expensive.
Talking about ripple effects, eh? Absolutely. Can't go for the strongest upgrades, I feel. This looks like Sundering Blades to me. And this is, of course, crazy against Fiends. But with Frost Armor, that is a decent answer. Is it enough now? Whoa, Coil Nova nukes that Knight in seconds. No Destroyer at the moment, so the Gyros are kind of useless. But the Water Elementals, they shine.
Usually human wants to try to punish no destroyers by going sorceresses, but of course now Fortitude can't afford luxuries like that. He doesn't even have a sanctum. It's all about surviving. Every night that you can, you have to pump out. And at the moment, it's only 2. It doesn't really look like it's enough. Good Fiend army. Great spread over here by 120. Focusing on the Paladin. He can't heal himself. Low HP, low level hero. Dark Ranger in a bit of trouble as well. But she's not really a crucial hero to keep alive. Lich certainly is, though. That one's getting surrounded.
Is dead. No Holy Light anymore. Now next on the silver platter is that MK without the Holy Light. What can you do? Absolutely nothing anymore. Double kill for 120. He might sacrifice the Lich for that. Okay, that's definitely damage lacking as Fortitude throws everything at his undead opponent, but the kiting game with the Fiends is strong. Moves back 120. How much gold do you have? Can you go for a Tavern Revive? 575. Gets a surround on that A-bomb. Can't free it anymore. Unwilling to invest the coil and maybe unable even. And that's a Lich Tavern Revive. That's expensive.
Got it back now. 442 heroes. Very strong here for 120. Fortitude, he is still broke. Always broke. Always spending all of his resources. Doing a good job staying alive. But is he going to crumble now finally? Perhaps he will. MK is back. Paladin's back. MK getting started. Without Stormbolt, it's so hard to take these fights. How the hell are you going to kill anything?
Good question. As always, you raise very valid and good questions. It looks a little suicidal here, everything. It didn't work out. The Paladin is back okay. He's using the Militia again, alright, but that is just that's just the sacrificial lambs for 120. It's one focus fire and they're gone. Kind of the same for the Shredder as he is not repaired at the moment. He's taking out the statues and the statues are constantly moving, so not the greatest region for the undead. That's important. but I'm not sure if that's game winning. Lich, focus point again, but moves out of that fight. He doesn't want to sacrifice him the second time.
When the MK returns, the Lich will be in trouble. Has to go for an invul. MK should be back in, I don't know, maybe a minute or so. Took quite a while to revive him.
Fortitude putting up a
going
fight.
down.
Yeah, he's constantly getting some pickups. It's not that 1-2-0 is spirally completely out of control, and that's unwinnable for Fortitude. 2 base, 1 base. Constantly. All the time. Hanging on there. He is on the verge of dying. No question about that. But it's also 4 knights, level 5 AM. It's possible.
Nova, very dangerous. But not much mana left for 1-2-0. Seems like he needs more statues. We'd love to see ghouls here coming in to pressure these peasants. But maybe not enough lumber.
The castle fall now. Fortitude had some time to recover. Build new knights. Everything happens on the ground here. Level 3 water elementals. Big, big, big units. Is this the right angle to attack? Statues first. Oh, Paladin again! Silence on him, so he couldn't cast anything anyway. But he will pay the price. That's 2 fiends. One gets saved by a coil. And there we push forward. Fortitude. Is he able to buy the necessary time? These summons are so strong. The knights are so strong. The Archmage is putting out a lot of damage as well. But 1-2-0 knows exactly how long he can stay in that open fight when he has to go back. The Unholy Aura helping tremendously. Stormbolt. Mountain King has to be very careful. Lich uses that Dark Ritual to get rid of that experience. But on the other side, we have staffs to save units. High-level human undead play displayed by both. And for the first time, there's a big lead for Fortitude. 10 supply ahead. And the hero levels are not too far away from each other. Of course, it is 4-5-2. But once the Mountain King hits level 3 and the Paladin reaches level 2, this could be a whole different game. 1-2-0, giving Fortitude a little moment to recover again. Abominations coming in now again. This might be sniped immediately. There's a 3rd statue. Abominations, of course, way better to kill buildings, but he will probably not have the time. Fortitude holds so much better than in all their DreamHack encounters. He came with a plan, and that plan looked a little shaky in the mid-game, but Human looked shaky in the mid-game. 1-2-0 wasn't able to seal the deal, even though he did a lot of damage, and now he might be paying the price.
Yeah, 40's falling back. He's doing this well. He's pretending to engage and then falls back. He's buying time, waiting for more production. AM very far forward, dangerous position. Lich getting stormbolted here to minimize the damage. One statue is lost. AM, whoo, almost died. He barely makes it out. Wait, the TP doesn't bring everything back. He's next to the shop, though, with the knights. Lots of knights.
Indeed. 7 of them. Once again, the Abominations surrounded and killed. Staff is there for the knights. He saved them. The trades are going into Fortitude's favor.
Damn. Is he about to turn this around? The DK's mana is low. With that, no more saving these fiends. MK has more Stormbolts, by the way. This could be more kills for 40. Maybe numerous.
So many units about to die. That one fiend, again, from range. He's killing almost everything. Fortitude realizing the strength of the tier 3 human and is taking good fights. 1-2-0. Looks desperate here. He's spending his last mana for this Archmage and taps out. We got another upset in the group stage. Fortitude winning AZ.
What a sick game by 40. Beautiful opening build, very smart, making the DK's early game difficult, delaying the expansion for a safe expo. And then he seemed dead to rights many times over. He had so few things to defend, but that is what these masterful humans can do so well, just barely hanging on, clinging on to the late game. And then with high knight numbers, you can finally fight against fiends well at a later point.
That is
sick game, dude. Sick game by 40.
This match, if you play this matchup, you're walking on a knife's edge. It can go either way with one little mistake, with one timing error. But let's rewind to the very, very early moments of this game. Power build Alta, power build Barracks, uncontested creeping. Very good early mid game from there. For Fortitude.
Very impressed. And this is kind of what happened in the WCG as well. Like on Echo Isles, where he just held on until finally he was able to make use of those knights and high level AM. Pally and Mountain King never even got high levels. It was all down to the knights. I love the double workshop, double barracks nowadays.
Yeah.
It's really not that expensive. It's 150 gold thereabouts for each building. And then you can build depending on what you need. If there's a lot of destroyers, you go for gyros. If there's no destroyers, which many undeads tend to skip nowadays in the very late stages, then you just go pure knights. Breakers, of course, a little more squishy nowadays with less armor and just simply not much damage, just straight up, and bad against A-bombs. This double workshop, double racks play, I think, is the way of the future for humans against standard. But of course, it's all down to execution. How many times over was Fortitude close to losing that game? And so many humans would have lost that game, but he, with great determination, stays in this, wins this. So impressive.
Really good. Very good decision making. Whenever he engaged, it was in 90% of the cases the right decision with good trades. He knew he could take these trades because he needed high levels and had to catch up, and he had the bank to back it up after he never lost any production buildings. So whenever he's losing a knight to a coil nova focus, he can replace 2. If 4 gyros get swept, he can easily come back. That was pretty impressive. Even the hero kills weren't enough. And the high level undead heroes weren't enough either.
And I wonder what this is going to make 120 think now. This looked like a one game almost with the DK Fiend standard. It didn't work out. Is that going to encourage more Cryptlord play now? As we said, Amazonia, not a viable Cryptlord map.
Dude.
But our remaining maps certainly are.
It's Echo Isles.
The loser's choice for 120 exactly is Echo Isles. That's a good Cryptlord map. And Northern Isles, I would say, is an even better Cryptlord map.
Let's see what we got. As you said, Northern Isles for Fortitude, 120 with Echo Isles. These maps we've seen in the Sock versus Mikhail game, and there the Cryptlord looked really good. So I don't see any reason to not play him here.
And then the question is Fortitude's anti-Cryptlord play as good as his anti-DK play? He came in super prepared against the DK strat on Amazonia. Beautiful build, beautiful execution. Is he as prepared against Cryptlord? We saw earlier from Sock, who also thrives in playing against DK Fiends, not being as ready against the Cryptlord. I wonder how Fortitude is going to look now. Echo Isles is going to have mercs to make use of. That is crucially important if it is the Cryptlord. But it seems like we're both certainly expecting it from our player.
This was the neutral map, by the way. Amazonia was not a pick of any of the players, so very, very, very important. Even though if Fortitude loses here now, there's a reason for that. That's not his map. The decision would be made on his map on Northern Isles, even though that is also a very good undead map. Maybe not the right choice, but we'll see about that then. Fortitude, he's just a miracle. Whenever we're counting on him, he underperforms. And whenever we say, oh yeah, it's not really his turn, and boom, he's there. As if he wants to make us look bad. But I said it going into this tournament, he's my dark horse. After seeing the wildcard qualifier and after seeing his progress from WGTL to WCG to DreamHacks and now to the wildcard qualifier, 40 might be my man in Group B. Which would is be amazing crazy, for him. By the way, with 120 Lin and Focus in this group.
Yeah. 120 and Lin always so strong. And Focus just recently winning next. Yeah, Group B is insanely stacked. I was worried that this might be very one-sided in the fact that 120 and Lin would be the only two really competitive players in this group, but that is not the case. So far, Groups A and B show us only competitive players so far. That is the case for Xiaokai, and that is the case for Fortitude. Sok, I think, today didn't have his best day, and maybe still needs a little bit more experience against the Cryptlord. But Fortitude, yeah. He's back, dude. He's back. It almost took a year. but he's certainly back.
Yeah. Who knows what was up in his life? Being a family man, of course, there can always be stuff that happens and takes the focus away. But the focus is certainly there, and he put the focus right in the interviews. Good impression. On the map, good impression. Just has to finish the job. But against our DreamHack Fall champion, that's not the easiest thing. Gonna be a whole different ballgame from now on.
Absolutely. Fortitude, what is he gonna do? Well, so far their words ring true. There was nothing outside the box, nothing unusual. It was all about execution. And it's wonderful to see them both performing so well. The thing is, 1-0, he didn't throw that game away. We've been seeing a few throws recently, especially in DreamHack. There have been quite a few over in Europe. But here, this was just, I mean, you could argue that the one move into the back of the base was a little too deep, but he got out with a TP without losing much at all. This wasn't really a clear mistake. It didn't cost him much, and he still kept up the pressure after. 1-0 did his best, didn't really mess up, and Fortitude, just by sheer skill and tenacity, was able to stay in that game and win that game. And that must feel so good as well in Fortitude's shoes. Obviously, you've been playing this matchup for a long time. You're under pressure for so long, and you were under tremendous pressure in that game. Having to defend with only footy and militia, which sometimes feels like you're fighting against guns with sticks. But he makes it work. The sticks fought back the guns until finally the bazookas came out, and the bazookas are the knights. Once you have like 6 to 7 knights, that is where Undead then starts to be in trouble.
Yeah, powerful lances with the sundering blades. We're gonna be here every single day for the rest of the week with high-class Warcraft over in Asia. We're gonna start every day of the group stage at 11 Central European time. All the times are on our homepage, of course. We're gonna have the Winnerbracket Semifinals of Group A and B today. We're gonna have the Winnerbracket Semifinals of Group C and D tomorrow. And that is time for Foggy versus Moon. This is gonna be so sick. And Blade, the second Western representative, he looked really good at DreamHack lower bracket. So looking forward to them playing, of course. Big focus for Foggy, always on the Gold League. For Blade, it's a debut. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, Foggy playing against his idol. That's what he told us not too long ago, that Moon is his favorite player. Kind of like feels like every night elf out there. Of course, Moon, a legend. He won WGL before. He has won almost everything else before in his career. WCG, the one thing that he wasn't able to win. We had that conclude not too long ago. Moon was in the grand final, but Fly snuffed out the dream once more. It's going to be a sick group. Speaking of that group, full of night elves, with Infi there as well. Infi and 3 night elves. Do you think Infi is going to keep his word and play Undead until the rest of the year?
Didn't he break that already? I feel like he did, but I'm not 100% sure. He didn't play WCG in the semifinals. He was eliminated before. He played random in the October qualifier. It was so far only DreamHack where he played Undead fully. But we have our players back. It seems like everything is set up. Sometimes it takes a little while. 1-2-0. New hairstyle, new apparel, but not the W at the moment. That went to Fortitude. Very, very well deserved. And that's what it's all about. The trophy in Shanghai, the players in Shanghai, and off we go. Map number 2, upper left, trailing 1-2-0. And in the upper right, he could close this out. He could defeat 1-2-0 back to back after WCG. Lao Pao Esports Club's Fortitude.
Normal builds here so far. Well, I didn't see the Undead one yet. There we go. That is a ghoul build. All right. We're all expecting it. No DK Fiend standard anymore. Many Undeads are struggling with that nowadays against human. Happy still pulls it off masterfully, but Happy is, of course, happy. Even 1-2-0, struggling a little bit. Now, it was, of course, a close game, number 1. Could have gone either way. I'm still so impressed with Fortitude, man. That was so well done. But this now will be a Crypt Lord and a very different game.
Okay. I've seen Fortitude against Undead holding on well, doing the right decisions. I don't really have a clue how good he is against the Crypt Lord. This is his time to shine. This is his time to prove that he's once again one of the best human on the planet. And he opens up with an Archmage.
Yeah, I like that. Mountain King is always a consideration, but very unreliable to make work on Echo Isles. Takes forever to creep level 4. You don't get good mana items. On Terrana Stand, he is reliable. On Echo Isles, not so much. Yeah, much more so. Very early tower in the base, and I think also no full wall off, whereas the Scout Acolyte for 1-2-0 is preparing the way for the Crypt Lord, slaughtering 2 critters on the way to an easy expansion.
Okay, can the might be matched? Is the question. We start with the green for the first item once again, hoping for the claws. So important. Then into Merc, then into expansion probably. That should be the play. On the other side, straight down after the Crypt Lord has summoned to the expansion. And he's playing with a double skull as well, just as Michael did.
We see that second skull oftentimes being used at the merchant in the middle to creep up easier, get HP regen from that. Instant expansion here. Nothing that the human can really do about it. No Merc Camp. Usually Merc Camp is a crucial component in playing against Crypt Lord, and the fact that Fortitude isn't going for it worries me quite a bit. And if he creeps this natural now with these militia, he's not going to have an opportunity to creep this Merc Camp for a really, really long time.
You know what? He came so prepared to AZ that I'm trusting him with this. He has good reasons for this, probably. And maybe this works out. If not, we move on to his map where he once again will have a very elaborated game plan.
Last hit. Goes to the Crypt Lord. Lightning Shield. Sold right away. Doesn't like that item. Telestaff instead. We have 1 Arcane Tower coming up.
Interesting. Isn't Lightning Shield pretty sick?
Has great potential, but is always unreliable. Depending on how the opponent moves against it, doesn't have to do much. Oh, he's just clicking on the Town Hall.
Whoa!
Is that enough damage?
Fortitude
with an Impale? Oh, yeah, it certainly is.
Ooh, that's quite a delay. And that's how a game can look like if you don't have a mercenary camp. Impale on all the workers, cancels the tower. There was no repair possible. 1-2-0 so far, putting on a clinic on map 2.
And you know, these ghouls and skeletons and beetles, they can't be killed so easily because there's no mercs. If there was a Shadow Priest and Berserker here, this would be much easier to deal with. Fortitude having a tough time, and guess what? Ghouls already in the main. Oh man, the headache begins. And it's far from over.
Yeah, no aspirin for Fortitude, I fear. This will just continue. There's a little distraction. Archmage moving north. In the meantime, expansion for 1-2-0, of course, in the works. Forces the tower, forces more responses. Beetles, okay, they're getting killed. That's a little bit of experience, but the Crypt Lord still has more mana. Still 2 packs of beetles that he can summon.
About to hit level 3 here, by the way. Only needs 1 more kill. AM trying to hunt down these ghouls with a ring and a glove that's not working out that insanely well.
Level 3. More beetles. And these this time they're level 2. And still no dispel. Okay, Fortitude wins this. He's a god.
He had a great comeback earlier. Let's see if we can do it again. Oh boy, that tech is gonna be so late though. Unlike 1-2-0's, who is almost halfway through already. Macro looking good. He's spending his resources, getting the Necro to be safe, getting more towers, getting a graveyard for more towers if he needs them. And of course also Fiends, no second crypt yet. Of course, always hard to predict. What's the Undead gonna do on tier 2? There's many different options. There's the Vortex style with crazy floods of Gargs and Ghouls. There's the tier 3 rush with standard Fiends and statues and so on. Or there's even mass necromancers, something that Infi loves playing. And 1-0 can play them all.
Yeah. That's the scary thing about Tier 2 1-0 with an expansion. You can never be sure. Fortitude said in the interview, yeah, the tactics are going to be pretty much the same, but make no mistake, not the case with this guy in control.
Well, I think the Cryptlord is the standard here on Echo, so I think that's what he was assuming. Certain strats on certain maps. AM here with the Telly staff, I like that. He can apply a little bit of light pressure, but without footies, it's not that much that he can do. Lumber Mill coming, seems like that's something that 40 is gonna need. And he can begin his tech. He just did. Alright. Tech starts for Fortitude finally. It's probably around 2 minutes behind 1-0. He's playing it safe now, getting a few towers.
Every Fortitude game ever. I feel that was is definitely necessary against this style. 1-0, getting stronger with mercs, with ghouls, creeping the middle. Archmage really has not the biggest business here. Can try to steal a thing here and there with a lucky end snare or something, but not really. He's just buying time, distracting, like an annoying fly.
A little more experience. This Cryptlord getting level 4 quickly is always very valuable. Then you have the strong Beetles and the strong Impale. AM is going to get the Berserker. It's a lot of experience for him, but it's taking him a long time. No boots for him. Kind of surprising. He passed by the shop earlier. Maybe didn't have the gold at that point.
More experience.
But here we go.
Okay. Footman in. Instant kill. That's what I mean. One end snare can lead to a kill. Losing Beetles, not the biggest deal, but losing Ghouls, that hurts. And Fortitude, trying to use his Footman well. That is one of his biggest strengths for sure. Always has been. And it's distracting well. No pressure on the economy.
Yeah, Fortitude wants to keep up the pressure here, prevent creeping until his Mountain King comes out, and then perhaps he wants to resume creeping. Where 1-0 would love to just get level 4 Cryptlord, level 2, maybe level 3 DK, moving into the late game with a standard composition of Fiends. Oh, 40 run by into the main. Interesting. Cryptlord with Impale, pretty good against that, but it was just a fake. Fortitude goes out of there, doesn't want to donate these footies away so easily. Of course, on tier 2 now we have mana potions as well, and we see the first one on the Crypto.
Really cool that he goes for the staff every time. This is so good. He can continue to creep with the DK. You don't have to move your entire army back to defend at home. Cryptlord is enough with a couple of Beetles, threatening an Impale, and he's on the necessary level already, so having more ability on the Cryptlord. Not everybody goes for it, but I think it has a lot of value to the Undead. And now he can move over from the 12 o'clock to the little Murlocs in the bottom right, and he's uncontested.
Yeah, great camp to steal away right here. Gloves of Haste later on for the Lich, also pretty good, and especially the Aura. The Aura makes such a big difference. Everything a little faster, and a tiny bit of HP regen as well. Cryptlord covering the DK now. He staffed back, kept that base safe, and now keeps the DK safe as well. He knows the MK should be coming out very soon. With the opening that we saw by Fortitude, at least he has the Merc Camp remaining for the MK.
Impale, we saw Sock falling apart after his Archmage was surrounded. Not the case here, of course, we don't have mass ghouls, so surrounding with fiends against the massive Footman and the Mountain King coming in, little ill-advised. But I feel like 1-0 is in full control so far.
Yeah, and he's got the advantage here with level 2 DK versus level 1 Mountain King. If they just keep on standing here and fighting, he's going to be with an advantage. Even Frenzy Ghouls coming in now. The upgrade finished. The Ghoul's now pretty strong. So is that Impale. Hits the footies very well. DK has plenty of coils remaining, and there's no way Fortitude can take this fight.
No, it's not his time yet. And this is how a game can look like. Just a different map, same players, different strategy, of course. And this time, it's not one base, two base. That's a little bit of the problem. Oh, we go for the Mountain King. Sweet. Surround after the Impale. Coil to finish the job. Throws in a couple of hurt workers here, but that's just a feast for DK and Cryptlord.
How great are these ghouls? It's not much, it's just 3 ghouls, but that means it's so much easier to deal with the footies, also do damage against the heroes, and it opens up surround opportunities. Great play here by 120 is going in, looking to see how much damage he can do. Maybe this little attack can already win the game for him. He's got a 13 supply lead, kills 1 tower right away. Mana is low for the undead, but army is tiny for the human, and that is a quick GG.
The Necromancer was quite angry. Goes for the depth, summons the Cryptlord, and boom, that's the game. Pretty much flawless execution. He gave him nothing. He gave him no opening at all, and again, Echo Isle seems to be a good pick for the undead. We've seen this for Mikael. We've seen it for 120. Echo Isle belongs to the undead now.
Yeah. Well done there by 120. Fights his way back, not flustered after the first game. But that was not the right anti-Cryptlord build. You need the Merc Camp. If the Merc Camp is there, you have to creep the Merc Camp and buy the Mercs. Makes everything so much easier. If you don't, you fall behind, you play from behind, and playing from behind against a Cryptlord is a nightmare.
And
the thing is...
That worries me a little. For game 2, there is no mercenary to go for in the first place. And yeah, what to do there? He needs a way better plan.
Oh wow, we're racing through these highlights. Are they in chronological order? I guess they are. Yeah, you said it, no Merc Camp or Northern Isles. I think many humans do not have the proper modern vetoes nowadays. I think Northern Isles is actually the worst map for human against undead nowadays. So good for Cryptlord to fast expand on. No mercenaries for you. No really easy level 3 AM either. You can do it with the Tuskar into the green and then the lab, but that's also hard to do. Twisted Meadows nowadays is better. Well, we don't have Twisted Meadows anymore. We have Turtle Rock. That is perhaps the worst map, I suppose, in this map pool. But Northern Isles is going to present quite a few issues. The fact that Fortitude vetoes LR, just like Sock earlier, again, might be punched.
Yeah, maybe Asia's reaction to the Cryptlord not too elaborated as they are in Europe, where we see a lot of different stuff. So, Northern Isles, the decision. We saw a full game 3 by Fly and Xiaokai. Fortitude, Sock versus Michael took as long as a best of 3, so it's a long opening day here at WGL. This is, of course, only the first out of 7 days. Gonna have the group stage throughout the entire week, Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Central European time, and the playoffs a little bit earlier. Sorry, guys, you have to set your alarm. It's gonna be 9 a.m., but it's okay, I think. Just chill on the couch, get some amazing breakfast with some scrambled eggs and bacon, and watch Warcraft all day.
Hell yeah. For this kind of competition, we all want to get up early to see what these guys provide us. What is the third map going to show to us? I'm sure Fortitude would love to play a normal game, would love to face DK Fiends. And the thing is, Northern Isles, if you're feeling DK Fiends, it's also pretty good for that one. It's not as strong anymore, thanks to the rod nerf of the most recent patch, but can still work out pretty well. So Northern Isles, both strategies can absolutely be played well. The DK Fiends and the Cryptlord Fast expansion, which is why I think humans should definitely veto it. Something that a lot of humans in Europe have been doing, as they have had a lot more experience against the Cryptlord. It was really fascinating when the Cryptlord patch hit. Europe picked it up right away, and Asia was super hesitant to do so. They thought the Cryptlord just straight up wasn't very good and didn't practice it. It took Europe to lead the way, and especially X-Lord to expose it at the last WGL for finally more top undeads in Asia to start picking it up. And nowadays, it, for the most part, looks like the stronger strategy against you.
Absolutely. Everybody said the time of the Cryptlord is over, but no. You can nerf him to the ground, Remo. You can do whatever you want. He stays in this matchup, at least. High tension. Players taking a moment to refresh, to recover, reset their minds. How do you deal with that now? You get this big upset win after an exhausting Amazonia, and then 1-0 flips the switch, and you are on the receiving end for such a long time. Not that easy mentally.
Yeah. A testament to 1-0's mindset, how he can just wipe the slate clean after the first map. Can Fortitude do the same? I would imagine so, but then again, his Cryptlord answer wasn't too convincing on map number 2. And map number 3, pretty sure we're going to see that once again. And this is, in my opinion, way trickier than Echoas, thanks to the Merc Camp. Winner here will be going up against a Korean Orc. We talked about it earlier. Lin versus Focus will be our last match of the day. It's going to be an Orc Mirror on the very highest level.
Yeah, and man, the lineup for tomorrow, the players for tomorrow, absolute legends. We're gonna have Infi versus Colorful. We're gonna have Moon versus Foggy, WFZ versus Blade, and Lawliot versus Chemico. I can't wait for these games tomorrow. Like, Group C is so crazy. It's gonna be a fest. It's gonna be such a fest. If I wouldn't be working as a caster, I would take the entire week off. And next week as well, because that's DreamHack.
Yeah, we have
just
wonderful
quit.
Warcraft. Here towards the end of the year in December, we're going to have some champions crowned and some amazing games. Before Christmas, Warcraft festivities are at their heights.
And of course, you can show us, how are you watching these games? What do you think? Who's your favorite here at WGL? I think the question is harder than ever before. It's not as clear anymore. It's not the big favorite Moon or Lin who dominates the scene. Everybody is able to take tier 1 tournaments nowadays here in Asia, in this scene. So hit us up at Back to Warcraft on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. We want to hear your voice. And now we want to see the decision in the opening match of Group B. Who's advancing into the winner bracket final versus Lin or Focus? We have Northern Isles in the bottom left. It's 1-2-0. In the upper right, it's Fortitude.
And what we saw already from the undead base, what we were expecting, a ghoul build. And that means ghouls, Cryptlord, and very likely expansion. From Fortitude, we have a standard opening as well. Will be the Archmage going for, not for the Tuskar camp here. Will be the green first. Hard for the AM here to get a proper level 3 creep route going. If you go for green, green, green into expansion, that's level 3. But it takes a really long time. So not so easy for the human to get off to a good start here. We saw Blade yesterday play a very... Not yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah. Recently in the DreamHack. Played a really interesting style. Creeping the Tuskar camp first into green, and then called Militia a second time to go for a lab and a fast level 3 with 2 big items, and then played aggressively. That was really cool, but that is not going to be the case here for Fortitude.
I really wonder if Fortitude watch some Blade games to get inspired, because Blade is kind of the way to go. Also with building placement and all. Maybe you can build some traps like we've seen yesterday. Just get the ghouls and beetles stuck between 2 footmen and then kill them off. Like, these opening moves are going to be so important. The early game paves the way for everything else that's happening here.
Instant expansion by Fortitude. Ooh. That's pretty interesting. Now, is this going to be purely for creeping or for expanding? It could be both.
It's Fortitude. I am so sure he's expanding.
Yeah, should be.
I can't be right. Of course, cast occurs now that I said I'm so confident with that opinion, but knowing him for 6 years, it's going to be an expansion.
He's sending them back. And he's not even level 2. Wait, what?
Okay. I think we saw this before. Who played that? Not too sure. Okay, this is wild. Early aggression Archmage with a claw.
Okay.
There's 4 farms though. He's
Why is he
canceling
going for
this.
that creep route though if he doesn't even get level 2? That's pretty weird.
You know, these are questions that I can't answer. You know, my human
And
off
now-
race is kind of weak these days.
And he gets the last hit.
Okay, maybe he's banking on the fact that he gets a beetle or skeleton or something. Puts the footman in as well. A little bit of a scout going on. He sees, all right, there's no rush tech. Here's level 2. Crap. No expansion yet.
Yeah, with those ziggurat cancelled, at least there's some lumber missing, so 120 can't go for the haunted right away. Is this build that detailed that Fortitude relies on that to delay the expansion, then calls militia a second time to solo creep the rest of the gold mine? That would be incredible 4D chess.
It is his map, and as I said on Echo, if he's as prepared for this map as he was for Amazonia, then we can very well believe that that's the case.
Wow. Is that all planned? That's insane.
Gets
What
a
a
ghoul.
crazy build by Fortitude. What?
2 footmen hurt, but there's no way to really get them. He's out of range for the for the impale. Doesn't want that. And this works really, really well.
Yeah, there's no way to kill the footies too easily, but there's also no way of healing the footies.
Not
If
yet,
120 goes in for a counterattack across the map, this could be very dangerous.
Needs to charge up for a while. There are a couple of footmen going down. Can't really pressure with only beetles. Okay, shop coming. Power build. There's no expansion yet though. He crept it, but he didn't build anything.
AM does have the tele staff if he needs to get back. Ooh, yeah, I think he does need to get back. I think he needs to hit up his footman.
This could be an
Oh, no!
easy surround.
He got vanilla surrounded, and now he can't staff. The impale! The impale!
Whoa!
Oh, he baited it. Nicely done.
That was last second though. If he gets stunned there, he can't TP. He's dead.
Yeah.
And now it's a
He waited for the... that was super high level. He waited for the cast animation to
Yeah.
TP.
But it's still kind of risky though. If you miss that very moment, you're
Yeah.
dead. But yeah, if you're as confident in your skills as Fortitude, why not? So now we got the shop. He builds the expo at 5 minutes 30. That's really late, but he did good damage at the south as well. But can he weather the storm? Can he fight these ghouls?
That's a lot of ghouls coming. That's like 8 or 9 ghouls or something. AM is still far away from that level 3. Doesn't see the push coming early, but he is in the right position. Tower's still far from finished. The thing is, Cryptlord is completely out of mana.
Exactly. Couple of beetles maybe. But that's it. Archmage's not looking too hot either, but the region worked for a while. Expo's almost there. When will the towers be ready is the question. Footmen were hurt. A couple of regions cancelled too. Oh, still takes some time.
AM getting continuously pressured. He's having a bit of a rough time. No corpses yet? Ah, no, there's one. Okay, now more beetles can be summoned. But the first arcane is done. And the Cryptlord is getting drained. The second arcane should be finished as well soon. Oh, no, he's getting the cancel.
But the arcane is ready. And can be repaired. And does great damage to the skeletons. Oh, Footman chased this ghoul all the way. Sees there's attack happening. 2 ghouls hurt. Could be a hero ghoul, but hero footman. But I think the control of 120 is too good. Second region scroll. Fortitude's force is very limited.
All right, interesting, interesting. Fortitude's lumber looking pretty good. He's almost got around 200 or so. That means tech could be starting somewhat soonish. If he doesn't make any more building. Oh, started already! Well, well, well.
Not even 2 minutes after he started the expansion. That's super quick. On Amazonia, he put a lot of effort into his tier 1 and teched very, very late. And here, he's a little bit greedy. Cues the tech right away. It's, of course, a very different game, as it is a different hero he's facing.
Plenty of towers coming up at the expansion. That one will be safe here very soon. Crypt Lord can continue to creep, but ideally you want to tech early, harass with the Crypt Lord, and then creep these camps with a DK second. So this is not the dream opening for 1-2-0 by any stretch of the imagination. Echo Isles was looking much, much better. What a cool build by Fortitude. I wonder if this was all planned out or if he kind of improvised with those peasants early, sending them back and so on. He's got the Zeppelin now, he loves those plays, and he's got a Shredder as well.
Wow. And probably not nuke this time. He can evacuate with the Shredder here now, but he wants the big experience. It's not too easy. There's no impale. It comes down to the right clicks. Who does it better? Who does it better? Crypt Lord?
I think Crypt Lord got it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think it was. So now there's nothing to gain anymore. Let's move.
Yeah, with the Crypt Lord around, probably that drop won't do anything. Shredder wants to go back home and start chopping. It's gonna be good for the tech for Fortitude, who definitely needs lumber. He's got like no lumber at all. Where 1-2-0 is on his way to tier 3, and he's got a few Gargs coming. Maybe just against the Zeppelin.
Yeah, I think this just one. He queued a Fiend before, and I'm not too sure if he's on 3 crypts. I doubt it. Should be 2. So, DK second, off to tier 3. Usual spiel. How protected are the bases by Fortitude? Oh, got almost taken out. Shop went down in the north, by the way. That beetle took it out, so he has to rebuild that for breakers. Oh, Purge. He's attacking this Crypt Lord. Oh, wow. Not good. He leveled up for the Crypt Lord. Okay, but the surround still sticking. Impale. Invo Potion, maybe. He needs a heal scroll first. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. He's sticking to this. He's sticking to this. Insane. Last second. And wow. All of a sudden, this Archmage is surrounded. This time he stabs. Is it in time? No. How unfortunate for Fortitude. The bravery getting punished hardcore.
Oh, he had the TP. And he also brought the Shredder. The Shredder wasn't at work.
Don't
he
tell me
rebought them at the tavern. That means more lumber expended. That means tier 3 was delayed even more. Oh, Fortitude. Those mistakes.
Might have thrown the series away. Right there. Archmage is super hurt. No water elemental support. 1-2-0 all of a sudden at the driving wheel and puts the pedal to the metal. Full speed ahead. Off into the winner bracket final. Dude, but that was a lot of like coils and items used for 1-2-0 here. But in the end, he got what he wanted.
Yeah, well worth it to retain map position, to force all those resources out of Fortitude. He's got plenty of gold, still no lumber. What's that Shredder been doing? Has he been on a lunch break or what?
Maybe he's oiling up a little, some squeaky wheels here and there. Gets the Fiend. Mountain King, maybe a little exposed. Always has to be careful of that impale and focus fire. 1,400 gold for Fortitude.
Lich coming. And more Fiends. Lots of Fiends. Fortitude trying his best to delay. Seems like the late game attempt is the same as before on map 1. Try to delay, buy time as much as you can for the expansion and the production to save you. But the thing is, this time, he's not ahead in production. He's got the same economy as his opponent does.
Scary moment. Scary moment. Lots of Fiends again. MK not online yet. Only Stormbolts. Not much else. 2 claws on the Archmage, of course, is great. First tower gone. The sieging opportunity for 1-2-0. He's in a great spot.
And Impale against repairing peasants can of course be tremendous. The Arcane now gone. The Crippler doesn't have to be worried about mana burn anymore. Oh, this looks a little overwhelming.
Yeah, it was such a great game so far, and then too greedy seeing the Crypt Lord on low health. trying to force it and then the counter surround by 1-0. The key moment of this game. And dying without a TP. With a TP, I mean. Impale Nova. That's the new Coil Nova these days.
These peasants stand no chance. Frenzy Ghouls, once again, a couple sprinkled in. We have Beetles, we have Fiends, Statues, Destroyers, Triple Hero. This undead army so strong. Fortitude, once again, fighting with sticks and stones. 43 supply only. Not even Knights, just Breakers.
And the Shredder falls again, just like on AZ. One lousy gyro. Not enough. No Paladin yet. Close to 4 still. Can't get important coils. This peasant line is wrecked. Corpses everywhere. Feels like it's just a matter of time, but we thought that on Amazonia as well.
$70 supply for 1-0 pushing forward. The DK, I suppose, the one vulnerability. Does have the invul though, makes it to the back. Statues still healing.
Blacksmith gone, shop gone, floodgates open, he can focus fire, whatever. Crypt Lord catching the coils, and this will be even better in a second once this DK is level 3. Okay, doesn't want to take a risk probably. Oh, Stormbolt ready. Oh, triple level up. Time to party 1-0.
That's Frost Armor and level 2 coil. Yep. That's pretty good to keep heroes alive.
Okay.
Mountain King. Can he be kept alive with a Holy Light for a little bit? Maybe not for too much longer.
No. Not looking too good. He's getting some attention, but he dies in the end. Oh, last second invul after that Holy Light on the Lich. Feels like everything is going right for 1-0. Everything is going wrong for Fortitude.
Does force the TP there, though. Otherwise, Crypt Lord may have fallen. It's another knight going down, however. And still, 70 supply for 1-0 with almost 2k gold, by the way.
Yeah, this is not the AZ game with 2 base, 1 base. This is a 2 base, 2 base game, so catching up a 26 supply deficit is almost impossible.
Another big item for 1-0 in the middle. And now he's got A-Bomb with Disease Cloud as well. Only thing 1-0 is missing is Banshees with the depth training, and then he's got the perfect army.
Would almost like to see Blizzard already, but can he go to the shop? I think he will be sniped. 1-0 has good map awareness. Focuses on the middle, takes out the camps there, uses the shop. Invul potions there as well, plus 8 damage on the Lich. He's so prepared. And here we go again. Another attempt. But the healing is still going on. The breakers won't last too long. Number of gyros not sufficient. It's not that the greatest hero levels are around the corner either. The Mountain King never made it to level 2. Web comes in. Destroyer is safe. Hero focus is the attempt. But on the other side we see the same. Probably going for the Paladin once more. That poor soul is getting bullied today.
Hero kill, the only option that Fortitude has left, but it's apparently not working. The level 2 coil heals well. GG is called. 1-0. Our winner.
Hoo-hoo. Okay, that series could have gone a very, very weird way if not for the Archmage donation. Until then, Fortitude looking good, looking hot, but the Crypt Lord cannot be matched.
Absolutely. On Echo Isles and Northern, the Crypt Lord here victorious once again. And I must say, some of these human counter Crypt Lord plays lack a little bit to be desired. Also in the map vetoes, I think vetoing LR is not the right choice by Sock and by Fortitude. Maybe the others are going to be doing it differently. We're going to be seeing Blade playing against WFZ in Group D. That's going to be for tomorrow. Gonna see how that shakes out. Infi, is he gonna be playing human? Is he gonna be playing undead? We're also gonna find that out tomorrow. But yeah. 1-0 with the win here. Makes it into the winner bracket. The favorite prevails there, but especially that first map. How impressive was that by Fortitude?
Here again, the moment of the game. Crypt Lord is tanking so much damage thanks to the coils, thanks to the invul, and all of a sudden, there's ghouls, there's beetles, and there's, there is a way out for the Archmage, but he was so greedy, unwilling to use the TP, only the staff, without any necessity. Like, TP out, and you're fine. But no. Too greedy. Wanted to cut one corner too many. And all of a sudden you find yourself 6 feet under.
Yeah, this is what this matchup seems to oftentimes show. Once you fall behind, it's so extremely tough. When your army is a little bit too strong, quickly you get bullied really hard. That can go both ways. But normally, it happens to become difficult for the undead when he gets pressured early with mercenaries. I know I've said it a million times, but I do keep reiterating because it is so important. Over in DreamHack, the Europeans have shown us how strong they can be. It seemed like Fortitude had a brilliant build here. It was a really cool idea, but one misstep. And then we have the disaster.
He will be playing an Orc next, that's for sure. Both of these players will play an Orc next, as the second round will be determined between Lin and Focus. That's our next and last match of the day. And Fortitude in that matchup should feel a lot more confident than he does in the Undead matchup. So this is going to be epic, man. It could be the next spring rematch of 1-2-0 versus Lin, also DreamHack rematch, or it's the DreamHack winner versus the next fall or winter winner in 1-2-0 versus Focus. Also, do you remember that game at WGTL, Last Refuge? The Destroyer control at the bottom red Creepjack. Oh my lord, I can't wait.
Yeah, 1-2-0 versus Orc is crazy good. We saw it at DreamHack multiple times, and yeah, he's absolutely insane. Gonna have quite the package there in store, even if he doesn't feel so strong against Orc. That is just the undead mindset, I suppose. We're gonna have an opportunity to hear from him what he thinks about this match. 1-2-0 will be in our winner interview in a moment. Big shout out once again to Aragon Wong from Gauntlet Harbor and Vangolia for providing us with these translations. As I imagine they'll be standing by once again. I hope I'm not putting them on the spot and they're not here, but I think they are.
Nah, they probably will. They are coordinating themselves this time with a Google Doc, so they can translate question and answers pretty much at the same time. It's pretty good. Stepped it up a notch. Our volunteer translators there. Kings! Absolute kings in our hearts.
Who's gonna be the first Asian human to really impressively show how to beat Crypt Lord? I feel like I haven't seen it from a single one yet. In Europe, we've had it from multiple. The one representative we have here, Blade, showed it very well, but actually the one who does it the best is Hawk, a player who didn't qualify for this tournament, who was so close, it was ridiculous. A best of 5 series against Foggy that he barely lost, Hawk did, with 2-3, and it kind of all came down to a bash proc on the bash bear. That's how crazy that series was.
And the blink. Don't forget about the blink. That was great. That was a great final, man. Really, really nice. But okay. Hawk, of course, in the playoffs for the DreamHack. DreamHack Asia is starting right after this, so no rest for the Wicked Warcraft Warriors that we have here.
Wicked Warcraft Warriors, I like that. That's a spicy alliteration right there.
I got my alliterations down, man. Gotta get them in whenever I can. It's the Warcraft Winter Wonderland. It's the Wicked Warcraft Warriors. You know, you can do a lot of stuff if you're a little creative.
The Warcraft Winter 1-2-0. You know, it all works out wonderfully.
Wonderfully. Should do an entire cast like that. Oh, it would be so annoying.
Imagine casting with only W words. Oh, that would be really hard. I would have to prepare a script. We would have to get the help of Ricky maybe to get us ready for that one, who has been helping us tremendously with DreamHack already. Shout out to Ricky, who has a wonderful mustache. Only until today. Tomorrow it's gone. We're
we do
preparing
this
1-0 here. For the
we do
interview.
this baby speech, you know. Oh, you don't love me? I can't do that, man. It's too silly to even attempt that, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure everybody would love that so much. But,
No.
We can keep that in the back pocket. Maybe for our anniversary soon, for our special event for the boys.
Yeah, tomorrow games starting at 11 once again. Group C and D. It is time for our Western heroes. Foggy versus Moon, Blade versus WFZ. But it seems like we get the interview with 1-0 being on stage.
好，那我们看到 BO3 第一局是输掉了，然后后面2局是都赢了。然后我看了一下英雄和开矿的情况啊，第一局是用的 DK 首发，然后是单矿打2矿输了，可以说是被这个浪漫给这个磨死了。然后在后2局的比赛里面都是这样一个地穴领主的首发，然后都成功开启了双矿，然后都赢下了比赛。那是不是说后面的一种英雄和资源的状态是一种比较好的去赢人类的一种方式？
So, first question is 1-0. Congratulations! You lost the first map when you used the DK.
突然觉得 DK 还有可以发掘的空间吧，
抢救他一下是吧？
对，可以抢救一下，但是事实证明
And against the expansion
再见了。
of
问
Fortitude.
题就是你现在已经是进入了这个小组的胜者组，那接下来不管是 Focus 还是 Lane 打上来，那都是一个非常强的这样的一个兽族。那不知道你对于这样的一个亡灵对阵兽族的这样一个
And 1-0 describes it. He thought that DK first is still good, but it seems like it's very bad at the moment.
本身是一个
Okay.
比较强的人吧，但是我觉得我对打兽族还是非常有信心的，我觉得我可以战胜他们。
好，希望你后面的这个胜者组的比赛也继续有好的发挥。好，那我们的赛后
Now you're the winner. You're facing Lin or Focus next.
稍事休息，马上回来。
How are you prepared for the upcoming match? And he answers that they are both in great shape, but he feels confident against Orc, and he should, as probably the best undead versus Orc in the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more match coming up, but before we go into that second match, we have a couple of supporters. Once again, WGL World Championship. We turn the alerts off so you're not bothered by whatever comes up by follows and subs and donation during the matches. We want to keep it clean and use the time before the break to thank all you guys. We had Tomago with a 3-month resub. Back to this channel, PogChamp, Weasel has bought a Back to Warcraft mug. That's a very excellent choice, man. Have a couple of good breakfasts, coffees with that. Seal Web for the 6-month resub. Haven't streamed a stream for a while now. Good to be back. Thanks for all your work, guys. Much love. Glad you're back. Ferrari Steve, 2-month resub. Much love, guys. And let's hope that Remo didn't skip church yesterday. Foggy needs all the prayers he can get with that group. Not sure if Almighty Moon will listen, though. And Williams, Gabo Gab, and Maratis Tatars Tana Sukaivi for the subs and the host. That was a roughie. We got a little bit of a longer break here now. We're going to see each other in 13 minutes. So feel free to send us your impressions and predictions for WGL at Back to Warcraft, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We want to hear from you. See you in a bit.